Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial podcast, the podcast where we talk to the people that know Lawrenceville best. I'm your host, Nate McGill from Gwinnett Magazine. Today it's part 2 of the series on events in Lawrenceville, and we're talking all about these cool events happening and what it takes to really put these things on. What's the behind the scene work that goes into planning some of Lawrenceville's best events? Check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial podcast. We're here for part 2 with Milo and Lindsay talking about events in Lawrenceville, all the fun stuff that we have for all of the people, all the different cultures, all the diversity, all the stuff. Like, it takes a lot to put on events, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about events. So we're taking a deep dive today, but before we get started too far in that, Milo, why don't you tell us the backstory? How did you find yourself into this role for the city and in events? Where did the interest come from, and where do you helm from?
So I grew up in Lawrenceville, and as a kid, I remember going and traveling, and my family's from New Orleans, so
cool.
Street festivals, live music, all of that has always been big growing up. Graduated from Collins Hill High School and traveled to Nashville, traveled to Birmingham, and got to kind of just get involved with all the cool people doing cool stuff. And it built this really big love for building community. And so I worked for a brewery for about 5 years doing events there and marketing for them.
Very
and
cool.
I started feeling this tie to come home because I've got siblings with kids, so wanting to be close to them, and the pandemic happened.
Oh, yes.
And at the time I was working for another brewery in Decatur, and then the shutdown happened and there's no brewery work.
Oh, man, yeah.
And so I started thinking outside of the box. What do I really want to do? How can I take the gifting that I have and create something with it? And then found a job opening at the city, and to me it reminded me of every time in my life that I felt like something good was happening, because I started thinking about it. I was like, man, I've traveled the country, I've seen all of these great things, and how awesome would it be to be able to contribute that to the community that I came from.
Bring it back. Yeah, for sure.
And so I applied, I was interviewed, I told them this would be my dream job, and now I'm really excited to be able to be impacting the community in a positive way. Yeah,
it's so fun. I mean, you ended up in a city that has 2 breweries, so there's that. It's perfect. Hometown, coming back home. Very cool. Lindsay, we heard a little bit about your story a long time ago, but tell us, like, you are like, the fact that you get to do Free Comic Book Day feels like, is the closest match of anybody working for any city ever. With your backstory. Tell us how you got into this role.
Yeah,
originally.
I'd love to share it. It's my favorite story ever. So I originally went to school for theater. I went to the University of North Georgia to major in theater, where I was going to do general education, theater. Learned real fast after I did a internship with the Disney World program that being a performer and living a life in theater is not always the most cost effective.
Yeah, that's true. They told me that.
But it was what I did because I love to curate experiences for the audience. I love to be able to provide people with the opportunity to come in and either share a story of, someone or something, a fictional story that they may never know, but somehow can connect to a character on stage, somehow create a memory that'll bring them back for years. And I've always driven my kind of career path towards creating those experiences, creating those memories for people. So when I got back from my internship with Disney, I decided to switch into hospitality as my degree. So I went to Gwinnett Tech, ended up spending a lot of time in Lawrenceville. My mom had a job in downtown Lawrenceville, so I kind of got to see it as it was developing and being something that I'd never seen it be before, which was super cool. And I was like, oh, wow, this city is like popping. Because I grew up here in Beaufort, and after I graduated, I knew that I wanted to go into like city event planning or community
Right.
event planning.
Yeah.
And so I found an internship, which actually was a part-time job with the city of Sugar Hill. Got to experience their concert and movie series, got to see them do all of their sorts of large community-based events. And I was like, I want to do this full time.
So fun.
This is so unique because most other event coordinating or event planner jobs are corporate-based. So you do trade shows, large business corporation,
Sure.
Holiday parties, things like that, or weddings.
Mm-hmm.
And those are kind of the two lives that you live as an event coordinator.
Right.
Community event planning is so niche and so
Right.
hard to find an opportunity to do that there's never really an opportunity available.
Yeah.
So when Lawrenceville had opened their position, which was actually a second position when I originally applied, and so I came on to fill out the team, and then I got the job. I had told them, they're like, what's your career path 5 years down the road? And I was like, I'd love to be involved in like a Comic-Con or a Dragon Con planning.
Wow.
And they were like, boy, do we have an event for you. Free Comic Book Day is going to be yours from here on out, girly. And I was like, bet, let's go.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so I came on to finish, finalize the team. It was our bicentennial year. And then as I was in like my third or fourth week of being there, it was about maybe it was a little bit more than that, maybe about 3 years into it, or not 3 years, 3 months into it. The other event coordinator that I was partnered with got a really great opportunity to be an event manager at another city, and we're very happy and proud of her. But then I was by myself and with Jasmine, and we were alone, and we hired on some temp work, and it was great. And we made it through the bicentennial year, but hiring on Milo as my counterpart and person in arms with, it really helped us solidify everything. And we went through like several different rounds of interviews to like solidify the rest of our team too.
Yeah.
Because we did the first round, even though we had great applicants, we just didn't feel like anything was right. And so as soon as we had seen Milo, his application, and even gone through the interview process, Jasmine and I both like went into a separate room with each other afterwards, and we were like, I would just love to have a picnic with him and listen to him. We love his vibe. And because he had his brewery experience, we were trying to get more involved with our brewery and bring more
of course it makes sense
to our depot district.
Oh,
we were like, he's just such a great fit. And so, and we have very different ways of seeing things, and we have very different like styles of planning.
And that's
that makes it great. Yeah,
we can bounce ideas off of each other.
And so that's our little how our team became a team story and how I got to be on it.
That's awesome. I mean, it's just so great. How many people overall does it really take to plan these events? Is it you guys? Is it or what?
So we're
it's a lot of work.
We're really, really responsible for our events that we have, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But we get amazing support from our marketing side and from our managers. So we've got a lot of support, but we also get a lot of kind of autonomy, where we get to kind of really dream up the event and kind of see those dreams come to fruition. But, along the way, just like with anything else, you're running into this obstacle, or with us, it could be something like, oh, well, the venue of the event works this way, and so that doesn't really fit. And so we kind of can share together. This is what we're running into. And what I'm amazed by every time is that there's always a great solution that can come from outside. So it's really, we do a lot of the legwork, but we've got so much support around us that makes it
and we
possible.
work very interdepartmental. So like, although Milo and I, we pretty much split the events 50-50. So if we have 24 events throughout the year, which who knows if that ever
is that it? 24 events? No.
It looks like 24 on paper, but then you kind of dive in and when we're assigned things from other places, or it might be one event that turns into a long event series with several events. Yeah.
It really is one of those things. I don't remember what I was saying before this, but where we look at it and we're like, okay, although Milo and I are planning it, we have to work with the police department in order to figure out all of our road closures and our safety plan. We have to work with our event risk manager in order to figure out if we have all of our insurance figured out. We have to work with our streets department because we don't hire any like event staff. We work with volunteers, and we work with our streets department and streets and sanitation department in order to provide that additional support to help set up all of our tables and to get our vendors loaded in and to shut down everything that needs to get shut down.
Right.
But the people with the boots on the ground from point A to point B throughout the entire process are Milo and I. And so if he ever leaves, he's got a little book with all of the notes and stuff like that I can take on and lead the event. And if I ever win $1 million and run off to Paris or something like that, he can pick up my binder and go and run the event. Yeah, that's what we say. It's $1 million binder. In case somebody on the team wins $1 million, they have everything they need in one book. And
goodness.
They can plan they can go.
That's awesome. Man, I just think of all the moving parts, especially when you're planning this for a city and for a community as a whole. But it's good that you are working in the city because the checks and balances system that's there allows you to go through, okay, well, is this, can we do this? Is this legal to do this?
Yeah.
Is this, can we shut this street down? What's the cost benefit to being able to shut down the whole square and do something like St. Patty's, something like that? I mean, there's a lot. Like, what would you say, like, if you had to pick your top 5 events in Lawrenceville? Do you guys have favorites, or maybe the 5 originals that you guys have come up with? The brainchilds. Is that a word? Brainchilds?
Yeah.
Brainchildren?
I think it varies. I mean, obviously, Free Comic Book Day is my baby, and I love
makes
it.
sense.
And
Yeah.
it's my bread and butter, and it's my favorite thing that I get to do throughout the year. Boo Fest is another one that I really love to plan.
Boo Fest.
Because it's our Halloween event. Everyone loves Halloween. It's also a great opportunity for our community to be able to have a safe environment to trick or treat.
Sure.
And for our businesses to get involved with our community and have kind of like a face-to-face with our community on a very innocent and awesome way.
I will say that one of my very first events, right when I got started, something that was already in the works that the team had been working on, was our international festival. And for me, I think that was a great selling point for Lawrenceville because it had always been the town that I wanted to get away from.
Right.
And when I saw myself in the role as a community organizer, and then also got to see this event that was so diverse that you could literally bring somebody and they could sample something from all over the world in this one little small town, that inspired me so much to create a little aspect of that in every event that we do.
Yeah.
I mean, and it sparked everything. It had been something that when I came on, we had just started that conversation. And so then I began picking up and working with the Atlanta International Night Market Organization to bring that to the September of 2021. And it was our first 2-day event that we had done in a very long time. So it was really kind of trial and error, but we learned a whole lot. The organization that we worked with really enjoyed it. Most of their board actually lives in Lawrenceville and does business in Lawrenceville. So they wanted to be homed and like housed somewhere again.
That's very cool.
And it was wonderful. And then last year we were able to bring it back with a little bit of a new name. So we call it Around the World in the DTL now. But it's an opportunity for us to bring in so many different diverse groups and different backgrounds and different, like we had a lantern festival display last year, which was a great addition to the event. And it's also the end of our concert series. So we end out with this big bang that goes for 2 days. And it's
very cool.
It's stunning.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, I think one of our diversity here in Gwinnett, is just, it's one of those big selling points, and you hear a lot of people talk about it, but like where you experience it the most is in community and through events. What a great way to do that. Because you can kind of come and check out and get different flavors and different tastes of different things that are going on all throughout the year. It's pretty neat.
And it could be, something like that can seem intimidating unless it's done in a way that is a free public event open to the public where they can come no matter where they trace their lineage or heritage or if it's just coming to experience something new. I think, with Gwinnett County being like the number 7th most diverse county in the country.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's really cool to be able to see so many cultures represented in one space. And that, around the same time that I was going through that, I was contacted by a group of students from local high school who stated that they were wanting to see their culture shared and displayed in Lawrenceville, and so we started Cultura, which is a Latin festival, and that was something that was the first one that I got to pitch, and through that I was able to kind of bring this magical stuff that I've been kind of dreaming of, and having street parades where you're walking with samba dancers, or having, a back alley concert with rappers and lowrider cars, or eating food from different regions.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was really special. So that's definitely, I would say that is one of my favorites. And then also trying to use our concert calendar to really engage different parts of the community. I'm also really excited. We've got a beautiful Juneteenth concert that is in the works right now, and that creates opportunities for all kinds of people to be able to show off what they do well, and what. So having artists, sculptors, musicians, businesses, candle makers, all sorts of stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let me just say, guys, a few years ago, a decade or so ago, I felt so lonely in Lawrenceville, because as a filmmaker, local filmmaker in Lawrenceville, there wasn't a lot going on. We had 2 coffee shops. We had a bunch of businesses that were dying and moving in rent. We had this place called the Flying Saucer, where we would do songwriting and singer-songwriters and have them in for a little bit. It's where Oyster Bay is now. Mm-hmm. But it was very dead in streets. And you probably remember, it wasn't too long ago. I'm talking about back in the 2000s. So, but to see this culture be embraced and then put on display is a never before thing to happen. It's very recent as far as the last decade or so, where you've seen more and more of that happening. But I think that your experience in the culture creating capitals of the United States, new places like New Orleans and Nashville, obvious culture capitals, that's kind of what I've always kind of hoped that I could see in my hometown. And it really requires us to do that work, which I think is fascinating from just a human perspective, how we all think we have to go on a journey off into the wonders to find our way, and there's probably some truth to that. We do have to discover some of that, but we also just have to decide that this is something that we want to do and can do, because there's so many beautiful, amazing people that we can highlight that can help us do that. You want to put on a car show? Well, we got all these people over here that are loving cars. We want to put on a Comic-Con? Well, why can't we? Why do we have to go to San Diego? Let's do it. Let's try to build it. And let's build it from scratch in Lawrenceville. We can't do Broadway style musicals. Well, let's do that. Yeah. We can't have we're going to have breweries. I think the decision making and the stuff that you're seeing happen in Lawrenceville just in the last decade. Yeah. And obviously it's been a part of a comprehensive plan, but unbelievably exciting because it is wrapped around the creative culture, music, food. It's really fun.
Well,
but you guys have a fun job. I am jelly. I'm peanut butter and jelly. I'm jealous.
Lawrenceville prides itself on being a home of the arts.
Yeah.
It's where the arts are supposed to thrive. And so being able to provide our community with the opportunity to engage with that in any way possible, whether it be performing arts and music and visual arts, whether it be just getting tapped into a different hobby that has a creative or artistic side. One of my favorite things is that we don't just do large scale events, we do small scale events too. And so we have things like what originally started as the 200 Together Bicentennial workshops, which linked our downtown businesses and our community through various different workshops like the Sip and Stem, Painting Under the Stars, various different things like that, is now transformed into the DTL Happening series. And so that is where we do things like Poetry Out Loud. We do movie showings.
I love some spoken word.
We do, what else we've done recently?
Breath work. Yoga on the lawn.
We do yoga on the lawn. We do fishery fitness workshops. We do all sorts of stuff. We've talked about doing an ASL class. Cool. So people can learn basic sign language and things like that.
That's cool.
Are just different things that we think about, and we're like, well, what would people want to learn in maybe an hour workshop or what portion of the community may benefit from this. And so being able to have the opportunity to curate a workshop series that can go all year is fantastic and allows us to provide the opportunity in a small, more intimate, less terrifying way.
Yeah.
And what's so great about Lawrenceville is that they buy into this vision of community building.
Sure.
And something that I can say after my background in doing events is I've always had to have, at the end of the day, my goal for the event was to make sure that it covered its cost or that it made money for somebody else or something like that. But when you're able to do this as like from the city and as a community building, your goal is to wow people.
Yeah.
Your goal is to make memories.
Yeah.
Your goal is to bring the community together rather than just trying to make sure that you have enough money to do it again next year.
Or selling tickets.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, being a community, I mean, doing it from a community event planning perspective, it's not like putting the butts in the seats. It's just, it's an offering that you want people to enjoy.
And Lawrenceville is one of the very few cities that makes all of their events zero cost.
That's amazing.
So you don't have to pay any sort of entrance fee. You don't have to pay anything to come and enjoy our events.
As the general admission, that the general public
admission.
can come and enjoy.
You may have to buy food from vendors. If you see something you like, you got to buy that. But if you want to come and listen to music, if you want to come and participate in the workshops that we give, if you want to go and enjoy something that we are offering, we give it to you at no cost.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And that enhances the quality of life of the community as well.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's where the culture is built. That's where it's built. It's built through these kind of events and these kind of, I love how you said it, making memories. I mean, you're manufacturing moments. That's kind of what you're doing. It's a really, really beautiful thing. And, you know, it also spurs along some much needed back end resources, because when you are putting on a lot of events, and I know that, you know, we have a lot more infrastructural, you know, for production and rental companies, you know, those kind of things. Like I you know, speaking again, flashback, I had a event production company. We would do lighting and sound. I was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Pigeon Forge most of those 6 years, you know, or Branson or someplace like that. You know, now like these smaller companies that are in the event industry, you guys are also, you know, having a footprint there where, you know, people can get involved and you can use local resources and you can, because it's amazing, like just to see the sound quality, just to see the lighting design, to have things put on like Prelude to the Fourth and stuff like that. That's always been happening. I mean, there's all kinds of just amazing stuff. You guys are really doing it up.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anything guys you'd like to add? Is there like a crazy story or something that's happened in event planning you want to share along the way? Is there like the wildest, craziest thing? Oh yeah, I bet.
Well, we could talk about like event horror stories all day.
I bet. Yeah.
There's nothing.
Right.
But literally the most traumatic one that I've probably experienced was, I started in 2021. We had started up the 200 Together Bicentennial workshop series. We were doing a painting under the stars. In like July. So it was hot, but it was later in the afternoon. So we were like, it's cooled off. It should be fine. Some of our guests were not drinking enough water. And as the event ended and she stood up, she blacked out from heat stroke, hit her head. And it was one of these moments where it became a medical emergency very fast. And it was, what are our steps that we take next? And so always being prepared and always kind of
always thinking through the worst.
Always thinking through the worst to make sure we have a plan A through Z, 1 through 100. And we were able to get, you know, medical services on site. She was taken to the hospital. The next day we found out that she was perfectly fine. And so luckily there was no extreme damage that happened. And we're glad she's safe. And I, to be honest, felt better after I heard she was safe. I was like, oh my goodness. But I'd only been on staff for about
But definitely
3
a
months.
shocker. Yeah. Like when you're new and then you realize, okay, wow, this is something we really need to think of. And it probably benefits future events to realize that, okay, wow, now we're going to be better prepared. Because you haven't really planned unless you plan for the worst, right?
Yes.
That's what they say.
100%.
Love that.
Yeah. And mine is, you know, similar. I think it kind of like there's a lot of medical stuff that can go wrong. There's also weather.
Anytime you have people, you put people together, you got problems.
Yeah, there's also weather. That's something that we come up across all the time, and we learned, or right around the time I started coming on, we found a meteorologist who could help us, who could really like map the storms for us to help us to know. I mean, because if we don't cancel by a certain time, we don't have insurance for that event, or all kinds of stuff. And one weird thing that happened to me was for the Juneteenth concert last year. In June, there was a surprise hailstorm.
Oh my gosh!
And
in June,
I'm talking marble and almost golf ball style hail falling after the event technically started. So people are running for cover. And it's an outdoor event.
Yeah.
And
what do you?
Yeah, and the weather. I mean, you could feel it. It went from being hot to chilly, cold. So then your clothes don't really work that you wore or whatever. And I remember with that one, just like literally just trying to run because I wanted that show to happen so bad that as soon as the storm was over, we needed to. I mean, I ran to a nearby restaurant and got restaurant towels so I could start wiping down instruments and equipment.
Yeah.
But what was cool about that happening is when you have that whole crowd dwindle to this core that have stayed around because they do not want to miss this event.
Yeah.
There is a feeling that everybody senses all around you, where it is just this gratitude and beauty of the moment. So that when those musicians start playing, instead of thinking, wow, this could have been rained out and I'm at home, ruined Friday night or whatever, like people are like, I am invested in this. I am here for a good time. And that's when the good times really happen, I think.
Yeah.
It is, weather is such a pain to deal with because it's unpredictable. And no matter how many times we try and predict it, it's going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, we can cancel events, and
the good news is they're free events, so they don't have to refund your money, and you weren't out anything.
Yeah. It's we always try our best to reschedule it or do it in some sort of capacity. I mean, we had a Merry Little Christmas get rained out a few years ago, and we couldn't do everything, but we still kept Santa. And so Santa came and he was meeting with people at the LAC. We do our best to either. I mean, we just canceled a movie a few last week on Friday, and we were like, it seemed like it was going to rain. It was going to rain so bad, and so we were like, for everyone, it's always safety. It's always 100%
safety first.
Safety.
That's right.
And if we don't see a way to move forward with the event in a safe and practical way, not just for our event staff, but for the community as well, we have to call it, and we have to do our best to reschedule or bring that programming back the next year. We canceled Guns N' Roses and started last year's concert series off with Guns N' Roses. And so we always try and do our best to still
reschedule, bring it back.
Yeah.
Awesome. I want to go see Guns N' Roses.
Well, you missed it. They were here last year.
Well, so if people want to know when they can see or experience some of these events, where do they go? How can we find out what's happening in the city of Lawrenceville coming up?
Yeah, so there's several different platforms that you can use. So you can follow us on social media. So Facebook, we have the City of Lawrenceville's Facebook page, and then on Instagram, the City of Lawrenceville has an Instagram page, and then the DTL, Downtown Lawrenceville, which is more of our tourism page, has one as well. So that is the _DTL, and City of Lawrenceville is just City of Lawrenceville. If you're looking to just kind of view our tourism site, you can go to downtownlawrencevillega.com.
Okay.
And click on events up in the tab in the banner. You can click on either city events, which will take you to city-sponsored specific events, or the event calendar in whole, which will not only tell you what we're doing, but will also tell you what the downtown businesses and other organizations are throwing in the downtown Lawrenceville area as well. You can sign up for text alerts from there on the calendar and email alerts. So if you want to get directly to your phone all of those updates, that is the best way to do it.
Awesome. And if you're in Lawrenceville and you have a utility bill, you can always check on there, because a lot of times we'll do marketing for our events there, which is a great way to reach people who might not have social media.
Absolutely. If you hang out in the downtown area at all, we have digital signs that tell you what's going on, what's coming up next. All of our event calendars are available online, and we usually have them printed as well at all of our events, so you can always see what's coming up at the next event. You can always stop by City Hall, and we have them available there as well.
And if you have event ideas, we're all ears. So we've got ways on our website to get those ideas to us. And then we frequently will pull the community through social media.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then you can always, if you ever have any specific requests or things like that and you don't want to go through the website, you can email the events team at events@lawrencevillega.com.
Okay.
And we read that. We clear that email and respond to all of them about once a week.
Excellent. Excellent. It's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out and sharing your stories, sharing your wonderful talents in manufacturing moments. I love that. Guys, so much fun to be had in the city of Lawrenceville. So go check out the events page. Go check out and see what is coming up next, because there is fun to be had. Thanks so much for listening, guys. You guys can subscribe to the podcast, share it with your friends, send it on to anybody who might want to learn just a little bit more about putting on these kind of community events. Thanks for listening, and you guys have a good one.